Should I apply for multiple immigration benefits at the same time? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our office here in St. Louis, Missouri. Met with a young lady yesterday. She has a pending U visa as the victim of a crime, actually a pretty horrible crime. And she came to the United States across the border back when she was 11. And shortly after arriving in the United States, about a year or two later, she was waiting for a school bus. She was 13. And some man dragged her into a van and ultimately sexually assaulted her. It was a pretty sad consult. She and I were both crying. It was pretty hard and pretty upsetting. And I've been spending a lot of time thinking about her and her case. She went to see an attorney in Indianapolis where she lived. And the attorney thought she had a very good U visa case. And in fact, she did. I took a look at the filing on the U visa case. And the lawyer went ahead and filed for the U visa, and she got everything together. She had the police report, she had the arrest record, she had the court record showing that the individual who had done this to the lady sitting across from me had been sentenced to prison. But this young lady was also eligible for deferred action for childhood arrivals, and this attorney was handling the case, and the lady told me that she had asked her lawyer, you know, I'm glad we're going to file this U visa. Should we also be applying for DACA? And this was 4 years ago when DACA was, still taking new applications, when you could file a new DACA application with USCIS. And the lawyer said to her, well, this U visa, it's really much a slam dunk. And so I really don't think you need to go ahead and spend the time and energy and money on a DACA case. And I think this was horrible advice. Horrible advice. And I'm going to poke around and try to figure out why the lawyer would have done this, because a U visa case can take years. There's a huge backlog on these cases, and the lady sitting across from me could have applied for DACA and could have gotten a work card, could have received a work card years ago, and she could have been working all along. Now, I really don't know why a lawyer wouldn't have done that. There just doesn't seem to be any logic to it. So I am of the belief, and I tell my clients often, that if you can take advantage of an immigration benefit, and if you can take advantage of another immigration benefit, that you should. If you're not going to confuse USCIS by what you're filing, then you should go ahead and do it. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about situations like I had the other day where a lady is getting married to a U.S. citizen, and she's on an H-1B. Her H-1B is set to expire very shortly, and it's going to take a while for her to actually get married, to get her case on file. So even though she's going to get a work card based off that marriage, I encourage her to have her employer go ahead and renew the H-1B. In these days of very harsh immigration policy, in these days where USCIS is really coming down hard on people, and in these days where USCIS is looking for any reason to deny someone their immigration benefit, I'm really encouraging people to apply for every benefit that they can. So if you can, back then, get DACA and apply for a U visa, you should do both. There's no reason not to. And in fact, those two cases are not created equally, because under DACA she would have had a work card 4 years ago, and she would have been working and paying taxes and contributing to society, had a driver's license, and these are the kinds of consequences that happen when you don't take advantage of each immigration benefit that's available to you. And I guess that's what the point of this video is. It's taking advantage of each benefit that's available to you. So if you are eligible for multiple kinds of relief, if you are eligible for different paths to an immigration benefit, unless you're going to confuse USCIS, and I do want to talk about that, you should go ahead and apply for both. Now, sometimes we've seen situations where people have simply overwhelmed USCIS by filing two applications. This might be where they file an I-130 from a parent and from a kid, or there might be situations where they file multiple applications. We've actually seen this. And sometimes I think USCIS just throws the case up on the shelf because they are confused about what's going on with this particular individual. But we see this a lot with students who are on OPT who marry a U.S. citizen. Now, they have an EAD off that's a work card. They have an employment authorization document, an EAD, off of the OPT that they're on their F1 visa after graduation. They're working. They marry a U.S. citizen and then get an EAD through marriage, and we always encourage them to go ahead and do that. Sometimes things expire, sometimes programs end. So if you have an opportunity to take advantage of an immigration benefit, you should take advantage of each immigration benefit that you are eligible for.